Hey there folks, rinimt here, and welcome to Makoto Wakaido's Case Files. Thank you, Player 2 PR, for the code for the game on Steam. It's out now, and it's a Trilogy collection sort of cases. The box says they take about an hour each, so I guess we'll kind of aim for that. We'll see how this goes, but let's go ahead and just do a new game. Has controller support, so that's cool. I was able to turn off vibration. I think I already have that turned off in Steam. Please, game developers, put in vibration options. Anyway, purely fictional, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so there's a voice option that's just that. Here, for the little one. You're always so nice. You didn't need to. I do, and you know it. Anyway, see ya. Sure, thanks. I might have to turn down the sound a little bit more. It's still kind of loud. Just realized how low I have my sound on my side. Was that a friend of yours, Gramps? That's right. He even got you a little gift. Cool, thanks. Hey, won't you tell me another story from your detective days? Why not? Let me think. Remember that murder case I told you about? The line of murders one? Of course! You never got to catch the culprit, right? Right, but there's more to that story. We found a third victim. And that brought the case to its tragic end. In 1981 and 1982, two murders took place in Kei City, H Prefecture, Japan. Both murder scenes showed the same gruesome sight. The victim had been decapitated and hung from a telephone pole. The investigation revealed that the two victims had something in common. They were devout members of the same religious group. Nevertheless, despite their best efforts, the police were unable to pinpoint the murderer. Was is a little bit weird of a weird voice there. Until in 1983, yet another man was found dead under similar circumstances. Crime scene. 10 people to get clues. Yeah, we're gonna turn down the sound a bit more. Look for clues at the crime scene. Music. Okay, and we're also gonna turn down dialogue because I don't like the text typing. Unless maybe let's run back up a little bit. I don't know. I never know a sound. It's always weird. Continue. Yeah, we don't need the walking sound that loud. Okay. Hello. Hello. I'm Wakaido from the Prefectural Police. I'll be in charge of this case. Detective Wakaido, your reputation precedes you. I've already collected some information from the crime scene. Let me know if you need anything. You need to know anything. The victim. Do we know who the poor fella is? We haven't been able to confirm his identity since he's missing his head. We're currently investigating to find out more. Cause of death. Cause of death? We believe he was strangulated and then decapitated after death. Modus operandi seems to be the same as in those two past murders. Wow! Found a new lead. The victim was decapitated. Woo! Estimated time of death. Okay, this might be a little more interesting. What's the estimated time of death? Our best estimate is between yesterday 11 p.m. and today 2 a.m. I was found around 5 a.m. by fishermen who happened passing by. Did they only send you out to the scene? No, sir. There's another officer with me. Feel free to ask him for any information as well. I'd better talk to the other cop too. Estimated time of death. Found a new lead. Okay, so we'll leave. Let's examine the crime scene. I should listen to what the officer have to report. Wow! They didn't even let me do that. Or just... Hey! Detective Wakaido! Wonderful to see you. You were on those 2 other murders as well, right? I'm counting on you. Yes, sir! I will help you however I can. The case. So, what do you make of all this? The similarities from the case last year and the case before that are obvious. It's either a killer who loves the macabre, or religion could be involved. Or the macabre. Macabre? I don't know. I should actually look that up sometime. How should I go about gathering info? You can raise certain pieces of information on your notepad, and you'll be able to ask and find out more about them. Try it out on me, sir! I'll try raising a piece of info on my notepad and talking to him again. Leave. Memo. Raise. We'll talk to him with this information. Detective, we have another ghastly case on our hands. The body. Tell me all we know about the victim's body. Yes, sir. Just as in the murders from last year and 2 years ago, the head has been removed. The victim was wearing slacks and a long coat. He was probably in his 40s. Are there any witnesses? One, sir, the fisherman who found the body. We've kept him for questioning. Man, 40s, wearing coat. So I've got also estimated time of death. Detective, we have another ghastly case on their hands. Estimated time of death. The murder took place at night, I take it? That seems to be correct. Exactly like in the previous cases. I wonder what these serial murders are all about. That wasn't useful. The victim. What do we know about the victim? Only what we can guess from his clothing. Off the red coat and leather shoes, both kind of worn out. Looks like a salesman and not a terribly successful one. Alright, so we've got the fisherman. Officer, I done seen the whole thing. I'd like to know more about that. What you saw. What exactly did you see? I come by every morning for fishing. But today I done hear some heckin' noise, so I gonna take me a look. And out of nowhere comes a black something rushing past like mad. I say, what's that swaying things? I take me one better look, and it's some dead folk. That done send the old heart racing, let me tell ya. Black something. What was the black thing you saw? Ain't easy to say, being dark around and all. 'Twas pretty heckin' big, must have been a man, tell you that much. Looked to me like he was fiddling with something. Man at the crime scene? Okay, so... Man at the crime scene. So I guess we'll use that here? No half-staff to mourn the sky. Them in the body. Suit, pants, a long coat, male, somewhere in his 40s. Ain't getting much more info from this. Surroundings. Body is hanging from a telephone pole. I don't see any other of the victim's belongings around. More thoroughly. What's this? His coat pocket is bulging? There's nothing inside. Somebody must have taken whatever was in it. I better ask the local cops. Victim's coat pocket. What's this? Can I examine it yet? There's some symbol drawn in blood. Symbol on the roadside. Okay, so what do we got? Victim's coat pocket. We want to go to this guy? Wow, they really just are like, here you go. Detective Wakaido, we're waiting for you, sir. Belongings. Looks like something was taken out of the victim's pocket. Yes, sir. I was just informed of this. Forensics found something that belonged to the victim. The matchbox from a bar called Bashanal. Victim probably visited that location shortly before his death. Matchbox from a bar. Alright. What I got? Okay, so that's just that. Okay, symbol on the roadside. Let's raise it with him. The symbol. That symbol on the road sign, have you seen it before? I think there's some religious cult that uses a similar one. Okay. And the road sign. Do you know anything about the symbol on the road sign? It's got my knees shaking is all I know. That's some cursed stuff you got there. Oh, we can deduce. Other button. Not the share button, the option button. Alright, what do we got? I'm gonna put together all the info I got. They couldn't confirm the victim's identity. Why is that? He was decapitated? Victim was decapitated. Yes, difficult to find out who someone is when they're missing their head. I mean, there's a way. It's called DNA, but I guess it's the 80s, but I'm pretty sure they could do it then, too. But DNA exists. But anyway, moving on. We know little about the victim, but at least we got enough for a generic description. What kind of person was he? This one? Victim, man, 40s, wearing coat. Right, a man is 40, wearing suit pants and a long coat. Okay. We also have a witness who could be a potential suspect. Who's our witness? Man at the crime scene. A man at the crime scene? The fisherman's testimony could prove a useful lead. We don't know the first thing about the culprit. All we can do is retrace the victim's steps. Thankfully, we got 2 clues on the crime scene. One's a symbol of a religious cult. The other is a piece of evidence that hints to a location that the victim recently visited. What was that again? It was a matchbox. Exactly. Time to hit the bar for a round of questions. Found a new location. Bar. I scrapped the information I'm not gonna need anymore. Okay, so they like clean up your inventory for you. Okay. So these are kind of just split up like so. I see, I see. Okay. It's fine. Bar. Bar Boschino. Find new leads. 0 to 8. May I? Oh, what do you need, handsome? We aren't open yet. A murder. There's been a murder close by if you've seen anyone shady around. Huh, that's how I describe most of our clientele. Wait, and we get new customers every day, so... doesn't work with her. Okay, none of these work. Okay. Drink some booze? I'm on the job right now. Darn! I get drunk. That's nice. Welcome. We aren't open yet, though. Detective Wakaido, police. I have a few questions. Please, officer. Mine is a reputable and entirely legal establishment. There's a murder. There's been a murder close by. Notice anything out of the ordinary? Murder, huh? Around these parts, we just call it Wednesday. I'm always holed up in here, but I doubt I saw anything that could help you. Suspicious customers? Victim had a matchbox from your bar. Know anything about that? Don't reckon I do. I value my customers' privacy. I can't just go and run my mouth about everything I see here. Please find yourself someone else to bother. Barkeep won't collaborate. Find new leads. Alright, so to collaborate, we can talk to the lady. A bartender. What's the deal with that barkeep? He's a bit cold, I know. I hear money's a bit tight. Maybe he'll warm up to you if you order something expensive. Barkeep is broke. Oh, this we use with the booze. Yeah, we're gonna get drunk. Order a whole bottle. You know what? Give me a whole bottle. Oh, with pleasure. Thank you for your patronage. Let me know if I can help you with anything, officer. Man with a matchbox. Tell me about the guy who took the matchbox. The matchbox, huh? Oh, right. He was half of a strange couple of guys. One with a long coat, another with a weird robe on him. They kept themselves, were chatting to each other the whole time. Makoto was sitting there next to them, so maybe she caught something. Makoto. That'd be the miss sitting over there. Doesn't run the place or anything, she's just an employee. Two suspicious guests. Okay. Two suspicious guests, we'll use that on her. A shady guy's appearance. What did the two men look like? Do you remember their faces? What kind of people they were? Anything? Not really. Oh, now that I think about it, that long coat looked like your average salesman. The other one looked like a wizard or something. Seriously, he was wearing a robe. He had this long beard. Believe me, he was so creepy. Just thinking about him is giving me the chills. Man with robe and long beard. So we got the conversation too. What were the two men talking about? I wouldn't know. They were kind of whispering to each other. The bearded one with the robe did most of the talking, and the one with the coat was hanging from his lips. And then the coat guy said he'd drunk enough for the night and he should go back to his hotel. The only hotel near here is Toyo, so I think that's the one he was talking about. Okay, new location. That's all we're gonna get from here. Oh, X to move. Okay. We can move to the hotel now. Oh look, there's a security camera. They have cameras. Maybe the CCTV recorded something useful. Aha. Easy to interact with, definitely stand out. Hello, sir. Welcome to the Toyo Hotel. Detective Wakaido, police. Someone asked about a murder that took place last night. Oh, you're with the police. I'll be happy to help you, officer. Anything suspicious? Did you notice anything suspicious? That's a very broad question. We welcome many guests here throughout the day, so are you looking for anyone in particular? Two men. Did you see a couple of men come in here together? One was wearing a long coat, and the other was something like a robe. Oh gosh. Too much talking. I think we do have a guest who often wears a long coat. A long-term guest at that. His name was... yes, Mr. Ida. However, he did not come back to the hotel last night. I'm afraid I don't know anything about the man in the robe, however. The man is Ida? Computer. So, receptionist computer. How do I use this? Please enter the information you want to search for. Alright. Nothing on this page. Oh. Oh, Ida. Search for Ida? Can you look up Ida and tell me his address? Yes, please wait. Information found. His home address is not far from here. Why did he stay long term in the hotel then? Strange. But then the CCTV. Okay. CCTV. Can you show me CCTV tapes? Certainly. Please give me a moment. These are yesterday's images. You can see the man in the coat leaving the hotel. Looks like he's meeting with someone, but it doesn't show who that is. Not clearly. Middle-aged man with a long coat. That's our guy. Alright. Alright, let's deduce. Okay. So what do we got? I put together all the information I got. I retraced the victim's steps through the bar in the hotel. I got witnesses at the bar who saw a man taking a matchbox. Who did the barkeep see on the night of the murder? Too suspicious guess. That's right, the victim wasn't alone. The barkeep said he was there with someone. After I got enough info from the bar, I visited the hotel. There, I found a name that most likely belongs to the victim. What is the presumed victim's name? Yes, the receptionist told me the man in the coat was called Ida. At the bar, they told me about the man who was there with the victim. How did this potential suspect look? Robe and long beard. The people at the bar told me of a man with a robe and a long beard. And finally, what I still can't figure out is why Ida was staying at that hotel. Why is it so weird for him to stay there? Okay, this part's a little like... I know it's like, so you can, you know, condense your hints, but it's still like, yes, it's information that just went over. Ida's house is near the hotel. His own home is very close to the hotel. Now that I know his address, I'd better go and check his house. Alright. Ida's apartment. New location. I scrapped the info I'm not gonna need. Yeah, it's like this is just to condense information down, but... Alright, that was the first chapter of this... The Executioner Linchpin. Okay. Hello! Detective Wakaido, police, investigating murder, and you see Ida's apartment. Oh, sure. Oh, sure you do. Sure, go and look, sweetie. Oh dear, wait, did you say murder? Is Ida alright? I've been worried about him, you know. It's been a few days since I last saw him. Ida? What can you tell me about Ida, the man who lives here? Oh, Ida, he's a nice fella. Nice and neat, yes. He couldn't get on anyone's wrong side if he tried. Are these apartments rented? Oh no, we all own ours. Ida and his missus have been living here for, what, 10 years now? A lovely woman she is. Ida's been so gloomy since she was hospitalized, poor soul. Oh no, Mrs. Ida's in the hospital. Ida's workplace. Where does Ida work? His wife told me it's a Kusumoto sales agency, was it? Near the station, that is. Okay. New lead. There's... blood? What do we have here? Do look at this. Examine the scene. There's barely any furniture in here? A sheet. The plastic sheet kind of contained it, but there's a ton of blood. The victim got decapitated here. Is this a crime scene? If I ever saw one. Murder took place at Ida's. The kitchen. Murderer must have washed his bloody hands here. Okay. Oh, we have to find 13 leads this time, jeez. The saw. It looked like a bowling pin to me, which would have been funnier, honestly. Bloodstained saw. This must have been through the victim's neck. No cheapo saw either. Brand stuff. There can't be that many stores carrying it. It was cut off with a saw. Examine. Bloodstained saw. This must have been through the victim's neck. Not cheapo. Alright, what do we got? So, that... Got like 4 things we can ask her about. So I guess let's start on those. Robed man. Did you happen to see a man with a long beard and a robe? Oh, I sure did! That was on the last day I saw Ida, come to think of it. A robe and a beard. Can you imagine? That's no proper folk, and not at all. The apartment manager saw the suspect too. Robe man was seen near Ida's house. Where the robe man went. Do you know where the man in the robe is? You know about the light of martyr's cult, don't you, officer? Their followers, they'd come and preach to our doors, too. The fellow with the robe must be their head priest. I've seen this face before. On the telly, was it? Ida's house near the hotel. Ida's hotel stay. Looks like Ida was staying long-term at the Toyo, the hotel near the station. Last month was it Ida told me he wanted to sell his apartment. Out of the blue, that was. I figured that maybe, you know, his missus has passed, so I didn't pry any further. No siree. He must have sold all his furniture, you know, so maybe that's why he was staying at the hotel. Ida was gonna sell his house, huh? That would explain why he was staying in that hotel. We got the head cut off. Chops with saws. Is there any hardware store nearby? Oh yes, there is, sure is. That one, you know the one? Cat's hand, was it? The kitten logo. They sell this and that, and tools too, hardware stuff. Alright, we got the shop. And finally, is this Ida? Is this the man in the picture? Is the man in this picture Ida? Oh yes, no mistake, that's Ida alright. Victim is Ida. Alright, so we have unlocked the shop. And I guess we're going this way. We got that. The coat, the photo, the beard. I'll just start with the beard since I'm on that page. Hi, I want to examine the sign. Here we are. General store, cat's hand. I like them to have signs out. Oh, what's this? There are a few kinds of saws on display. Examine. There are so many brands. Link between the shelves. What's this? Head priest pendant. It's a register. Pull up copies of receipts. Examine. Hey, don't mess with the register. Hey. Welcome. Detective Wakaido investigating murder case. Detective? Murder? Ooh, that's a lot. Happy to help if I can. The saw. Do you sell saws here? We sure do. Anything from small DIY tools to professional woodwork and instruments. They're on that shelf over there. Man with a robe. Did a man with a robe and a long beard come here? Oh, robe and long beard. Oh, right. He was here yesterday. He bought a saw, plastic sheet, and some other stuff. Alright, so that was that page. We got this. The man with the coat. Do you know the man in this picture? I might be wrong, but I think it's a customer who's been here a few times. Why? Was he involved in that murder case? Did the man from the picture come here yesterday? No, I don't think he did. Still, I could be wrong. You're not being very reliable, buddy. Okay, that's the saw box. I had priest pendant, may as well. The pendant. I found this on the floor between the shelves. Do you know it? What's that? Never seen it before. What can you tell me about the man with the robe? I remember he bought a bunch of stuff. I saw plastic sheets, duct tape. Pretty suspicious set of items, come to think of it. And the cult? Light of Martyrs. Do you know about the cult called Light of Martyrs? Don't know about any cults, but that name rings a bell. Must have read it on a receipt or something. Familiar name. Bring it up with the... No, the register. Register, thank you. That's the register. It's full of copies of receipts. Examine the receipts. What's this? This receipt says Religious Association, Light of Martyrs. I see. Okay, and then we also have this, which looks like our last clue for now. A few kinds of saws on display. Here's a saw from that brand. Found on the murder scene. It was a shark brand saw, I believe. Saw brand shark. Aha. Oh, I need to ask the guy about this brand though. Who bought this saw? Has anyone bought one of these saws recently? Shark saws? I've sold quite a few, even just in the last few days. Do you have a list of the buyers? Nah, no such thing. I guess fair enough, but no. Anyways, let's deduce. Kind of put together all the info I got. While retracing the steps of the man with the coat, I found out the victim's identity. Who was he? Victim is Ida. Victim is Ida. Even the apartment manager confirmed that she recognized the man in the picture taken by hotel CCTV. And what do we got? Safe to assume that the man with the coat is Ida. Now the victim was killed and decapitated, but where did this happen? Murder. Ida's home showed evidence of a murder taking place. Yeah, and the apartment manager's just there like, yeah, there's blood everywhere. Evidence shows that the murder happened at Ida's home. I found the saw that was used to decapitate the victim, and I learned more about the bearded man with the robe. What organization did he belong to? It was this cult. I finally found out who the robe man is. Wow, thanks. Only one more. The saw used to decapitate the victim was purchased from the general store Cat's Hand. And in the store, I found some evidence bringing together the live murder's cult and the robed man who bought the saw. What links it? Receipt. The live martyrs is involved in this murder. There's probably no doubt about that. But still, I can't see the connection between the cult and Ida. I should go and visit his workplace. Alright, now we're gonna clean up our inventory again and get the workplace location. So there's a very definite flow to all this and how it goes. How many more areas do we have? Maybe 4, looks like. So 4 more areas. Alright. 10 leads this time. Who are you? Detective Wakaido Police. I'm here to ask about Mr. Ida. I've heard he worked here. Why would the police want to know about Ida? I'd like to know more about Ida, your employee. He used to be a very diligent, straight-laced fella. Used to be? Just recently, he suddenly turned in his resignation. Tried to stop him, but he wouldn't listen. Said he got a call to fate or something. So... okay, Mrs. Ida's in the hospital. No. Didn't want to do this. Oh no. Ida's wife. Did Ida ever tell you anything about his wife? Last year, I think it was, he told me she'd been hospitalized, pretty serious condition. And the treatment was going to cost them an arm and a leg. Every day after work, he'd go see her at the city hospital. There's our new location. The cult. Ida Murders. Do you know about the cult called Ida Murders? That's the one that got Ida, isn't it? That's pretty much all I know about it. Ida's selling his house. I've heard that Ida was going to sell his apartment. Did you know about this? Yes, I thought he needed to pay for his wife's treatment. The rumors here said he wanted to donate it all to that cult of his. Victim? Ida might have been murdered. Man has been murdered, and man is very likely to be Ida. What? Ida? He was never the type to get involved in anything like that. What about trouble in the workplace? Any run-ins? Absolutely not. I couldn't imagine it. I was kind and affable. He steered clear of any kind of trouble. If anything, everybody was grateful to him. Who would hold a grudge against someone like that? was like in the workplace. Okay. Well, I guess when we go to this receptionist lady, I'll just keep on the same one. Detective Wakaido, I'm here with the police. Can I ask you a few questions about Ida? Mr. Ida, is he alright? Please tell me what you know about Ida. He worked hard, but he never stood out much. And since his wife was hospitalized, he's been showing up less and less. Man has been murdered, and that man is very likely to be Ida. Mr. Ida, but why? He was such a good man, he was too good to even see the evil in other people. Murdered? I'm at a loss for words. We got the cult. You know about the cult called Ida Murders? That's the cult Ida was a member of, right? I've heard rumors about their beliefs. I thought it better to keep my distance. Mr. Ida was convinced that donating his house to a cult would cure his wife of her illness. Sounds like a huge scam if you ask me. Okay. He died in the hospital. Did I ever talk about his wife? Did he? He loved her so much he never just talked about anything else. And when she got hospitalized, he could see how much that got to him. It was a sorry sight. He was very attached to his wife. Okay, the headpiece pendant. Seen the symbol. What about this? Seen it before? It's not exactly like that, but all members of the cult wear a similar pendant. Have you ever been to their church? I'd invited me to one of their meetings once. I ended up not going, but I should still have the flyer with the address. Okay. I'm guessing that'll come up in the wrap-up. Looks like that is everything here, so we're going to the hospital. We got 4 leads to find. Okay, I'm just gonna preempt. What do we got for this doctor? Hi, Mrs. Ida. Okay. Can I help you? Detective Wakaido with the police. Believe there is a Mrs. Ida here. I need to talk about her husband. Oh, Ida. She's staying with us, yes. Is there anything I should know about? I'd like to hear about Mrs. Ida's husband. Since she's been staying with us, her husband has come to see her every single day. But he hasn't shown up yesterday. Apparently he's not answering her calls either. She's very worried. And her illness. Tell me about Mrs. Ida's illness. If left untreated, she would die within a year. She needs to be hospitalized and receive constant medical attention. Insurance doesn't cover this kind of treatment, so it's bound to be expensive. The cult. Ida Murders. You know anything about a cult called Ida Murders? I've heard the name, yes. But that's as much as I know. Victim. It is very likely Mr. Ida's been murdered. Really? That's most unfortunate. Who's gonna pay for his wife now? All you care about? Mrs. Ida is badly ill. Treatment expenses. And they've been paying for it? Yes, so far Mr. Ida's been paying all bills on time without fail. And what if he stopped? Then I'm afraid we'd have to discharge her. Okay, let us start from the bills. Detective Wakaido, police, are you Mrs. Ida? Did anything happen to my husband? Have you noticed anything abnormal in your husband's behavior as of late? For one thing, he's been looking really stressed out for the past few weeks. He used to come see me every day, but now he won't even answer my calls. Is he alright? How are you paying for treatment? How are you paying for your treatment? My husband always took care of it. He even bought life insurance, just in case. All for my sake. Ida bought life insurance. Very touched. Your husband was known by his colleagues for how much he loved you. I see. He put everything on the line for my sake. I don't understand how this could happen to him. I got the gift, the house. To donate his home. So I assume that his plans to donate his house to the cult is news to you as well. I can't believe he'd ever do something like that. A follower. Thing is, he was a member of that cult. If he was, I'm sure he would have told me. Wife didn't know he did not know. I think we still have more though. We have all the hints. I just want to get all the dialogue, you know? Ida might have been murdered. I'm a mortified man, but it's very likely that your husband has been murdered. What? That's impossible. Why would anyone murder him? He never hurt a fly. And selling his house. Didn't we already do this? And to sell his house. Have you heard anything about his plans to sell the house? Not one word, except what he told me about 2 minutes ago. If all money matters to him. Cult. Why the Murders. Are you familiar with a cult called Why the Murders? I had never heard about it. What does that have to do with my husband anyway? And looks like that's it, so let's go ahead and introduce. I put together all the info I got. I got a clearer picture of Ida's situation prior to the murder. At his workplace, he was seen as a good, diligent man. The one thing troubling him was his wife's illness. What about this was he concerned about? He was concerned about... medical bills. His wife needs constant medical attention to stay alive. Paying for this treatment must have been a huge toll on Ida's finances. Talking to his colleagues made something clear. Ida got involved with a cult and started showing up less frequently at work. He'd become convinced that Faith could save his wife. He even handed a cult flyer to that same colleague. How was he involved with the Lila murders? He was a follower. Even at work, it was no secret that Ida was a cult member. In light of his wife's illness, Faith was probably the only straw he could grasp at. Ida was known for how much he loved his wife. He visited her at the hospital every single day after work. His wife's testimony makes me think that the two spoke a lot during those visits. But there was something that he never told her about. What did he keep in the dark? Wife did not know he was in the cult. All his colleagues knew that Ida was a cult member, but somehow his wife didn't. Most likely, he didn't want her to worry. And finally, Ida was planning to sell his house. I assumed he'd use the proceeds to pay for his wife's medical bills, but I was wrong. What was he planning to do? He was going to give the house to the cult. Ida probably felt like he was in the middle of a long, dark tunnel. And the light he saw at the end of it was the light of martyrs. It was pretty clear they're involved somehow. We need to get some hard proof the Shillelagh cult had a hand in this. Old church, new location. I'm gonna get that flyer. It's pretty obvious we were going here. Got the info I'm not gonna need. Alright. Cult church. So this should be the last bit, probably? Alright. Do we have anything? Okay, pendant. Okay, we're just down to one page. So I just had the pendant with you. May the lights of the martyrs shine. Welcome to the Church of the Light of the Martyrs. If you wish to be enlightened about our faith, feel free to ask me. What is the Light of Martyrs? What do you people believe in? We of the Light of Martyrs believe in the spirit of self-sacrifice. Sacrificing oneself is the key that will lead humanity to its next stage. Here's the head priest of this church. Our head priest is the venerable Sata, the first martyr. Okay. It's the first martyr. What do you mean, by first martyr? Right as the world was falling into darkness, the venerable Sata became a martyr. He decapitated himself and through the sacrifice rescued the world. We all owe our lives to him. Religious belief, self-decapitation. How would you— No, I'm not even going there. Do you know this pendant? Did somebody drop that? I'm afraid it's not mine. And we got this. A long beard and a robe. Is this the head priest? Head priest portrait. Alright. Can I ask you something? May the light of the martyrs shine! The spirit of self-sacrifice will change the world! Nope. Not useful. Ah, may the light of the martyrs shine! Self-sacrifice, yes! If you sacrifice yourself, any wish can come true! Who are you? Are you a member of this cult too? Of course I am! Since I joined Light of Martyrs, everything in my life has started going well! Everything! Coming to church every day is what has made me as happy as I am! Got any wish granted? While you were here? I sure did! My parents, who come from a long life artisans, were constantly pressuring and abusing me, and I wished for them to stop. As soon as I sacrificed a finger from my right hand, all the abuse stopped. This is the power of self-sacrifice. You sacrificed your finger? Exactly. It was the venerable Sata, the martyr of miracles, himself who cut off my right index finger. It's the greatest of honors. You drop pendant. Have you ever been to a shop called Catan? I do not visit any indecent shops. Okay. This. Ida's picture. The man's called Ida. Have you ever seen him? I have, yes. He wasn't that consistent with his visit to the church, however. I have seen him talk with both the Venerable Sata and the Lesser Grand Priest. What else do we got with you? Oh, I got some more back at the first guy. Hello. Have his own head? Let me get this straight. The head priest saved the world by cutting off his own head? Precisely! He has saved all of us by decapitating himself twice in the past! You can't be serious. Say what you will, but I've seen the Venerable Sata with his head cut off with my own very own eyes. A dreadful sight to witness, but then he came back to life! Father died twice? We got the head priest portrait. Who's this portrait of? Person and a portrait on the wall. That is the very smart of the Venerable Sata! That's a long beard and robe. Alright, so now for the third one? Okay. Must be the Grand Priest? May the light of the smarter shine! I am the Lesser Grand Priest. Let me know if you wish to join us or make a donation. Asking for donations? We never ask for anything. Our followers simply decide to sacrifice themselves and their belongings of their own volition. Self-sacrifice opens a path to understanding the world's truth. Sacrifice everything, and you too may be blessed with the Venerable Sata's sacred light. Spoke with Ida? One of your followers said that he's seen you and Sata talking to Ida. The head priest and I? Oh yes, I remember now. Mr. Ida wanted to donate his house and make a special sacrifice to introduce him to the Venerable Sata. Finally, a link between Ida and that bearded bozo. He was very passionate as he spoke to the head priest. They even left the church together yesterday. They left together on the day of the murder and Sata hasn't come back yet. What special sacrifice? What's the special sacrifice you're talking about? The greater one's wish, the stronger their resolve must be in order to have it granted. Self-sacrifice is proof of that resolve. It can take on any one of several shapes. For example, as first martyr, the venerable Satsu sacrificed his priceless life. Got the necessary for him to come back to life, and so he did. He's the only person to have ever reached the next stage. But Ida ended up sacrificing. As between him and the head priest. So is there anything else? All three of these. You're involved in a murder. You're all involved in a murder. See, this proves your cult's involved in a murder case. Your cult ain't praying its way out of this one, but catch my drift. You foolish heretic! You do not understand the venerable Sata. He does what must be done, nothing more, nothing less. He would never murder someone. Begone! Stop lying! Are you going to arrest us all? I've done nothing. I know nothing! Tell me where Sata is. I have no way to contact him. All we can do is keep sacrificing ourselves and praying until his much awaited safe return. So worried that I personally visited his house, but he wasn't there. A priest pendant. Drop pendant. Does this belong to your church? Where did you find this? This is a symbol from the Lights of Martyrs. I'm positive that it is ours. However, it's slightly different from the ones we wear. Could it be the head priest? And finally, this one? Ida's picture. This man is called Ida. Have you ever seen him around here? We are visited daily by droves of followers wishing to see the venerable Sata. It's difficult to say. Right. What? I talk to you now? Hey. Sacrifice thyself. That will lead you to the next stage. Is this an option? Add a head priest. I'm missing. Yeah, maybe? What? Sada is, I have no way to contact him. More info from the people here. Nothing is... going up. And... first murder... This guy here is, like, vicious to me. Index finger, Grace Walnut. Wish granted. I'm very confused right now. Sacrifice. I'm sacrificing. Done everything. I want to meet the head priest. I want to meet the Sata, the head priest. The head priest left yesterday and he has not returned yet. He said he was seeking new places to where to sacrifice his venerable self. I'm afraid he will not be back anytime soon. Oh, that has no alibi. Okay, now we can deduce. It was just that option I was missing, okay. Wow, we only had one area this time. Should get us our last one now, probably? All the information I got. Man has been seen in and around the crime scene with a long beard and robe. He is... Sata. Does that really make sense? What? I mean, it's literally who he is. Head priest portrait. I think I just got ahead. What? Oh, come on. In and around the crime scene with a long beard and a robe. Who was he? Here, this one? Sata long beard robe. The man was Sata. That's what I literally said. The options are basically the same thing. Head priest of the Lion Martyrs. His cult believes in salvation through self-sacrifice. And their gruesome, absurd belief is... religious belief, self-decapitation. The cult's doctrine is centered around self-sacrifice. I'm getting tangled up here. Think we're about cutting your head off? What a joke. They're most likely involved in this case, and in the past 2 murders as well. One of the cult's followers said that he'd seen Sata and Ida talking with each other. And I've also found solid proof of Sata's involvement in this case at the general store. What was that piece of proof? That would be the pendant. This pendant belonged to Sata. He must have dropped it while he was shopping for the saw. And I even got a testimony regarding what he did on the day of the murder. What was that? Sat to meet with Ida, the day of the murder. I've got enough evidence to prove that the murderer was Sata. Now I only need to arrest him and get a confession. Let's check out the cliff over there. What? Cliff. Okay. Scrap the info I'm not gonna need. Alright, time for the big finale of this case. When was his wife hospitalized? When his wife was hospitalized, I turned to the Lion Martyrs for help. And that cult's belief is that self-sacrifice can grant wishes. I must have thought that by quitting his job and donating his house, he could save his wife. That's how Sata, the head priest, does it. He preys on the weak and their suffering. There's a good chance those other 2 murders are linked to this as well. Huh? What's that? Sata, it's over. End of the line. And who are you? Detective Wakaido, police, and you're Sata, head priest of the Lion Martyrs, I presume? Police, I see. It's over, you say. You've followed my footsteps all this way, and you still don't understand. You see me now as I've worked my 3rd miracle, and once again defeated death. 3rd miracle? I'd call that a 3rd murder. You used Ida's weakness to make him donate his house and buy life insurance, and you killed him. You cut off his head and showed off his body to make it look like a miracle. You need him to die for the insurance money, didn't you? You say all that as if you knew it to be true. There are witness testimonies detailing your every move since you left the church with Ida. And the symbols you drew near his body, that has to link it to your phony miracle. You instructed the lesser Grand Priest on what to say to buy yourself time after the murder. You were seen at the bar, and near Ida's apartment. How do you explain this receipt from Cat's hand? Is His Holiness into waterworking? What's that supposed to mean? There's the lesser Grand Priest who makes all purchases for the church. That ain't flying. Look here. This pendant with a cult symbol on it? I found it at Cat's hand. Your shelf with the saws. It's not like the other members. It's yours. That beard, that robe, and that pendant. So much for your saint costume. You made yourself one easy-to-remember suspect, Sada. You probably used your followers to create alibis for you until now, but your luck's run out this time. I have worked miracles! No, Sada. What you did was kill people. Even as we speak, there are lost souls out there who need to know a self-sacrifice to be saved. Spare me the sermon. You tricked all the schmucks into giving you money, but it won't work on me. You foolish man who cannot believe in miracles! I will show you one right now. Wait, Sada? I am ready to sacrifice myself to save the world! Wait, stop! I am the savior. With my sacrifice, I will redeem the world! Sada! After saying that, Sada jumped off the cliff. Did Sada get away? Beats me. Best I could do was getting him cornered. Shucks! I failed to get justice for Ida, and I couldn't even catch the prime suspect. All I could do was look down from the cliff while clenching my fist around Sada's pendant. Wasn't much of a story, huh? Sorry to bore you. Now, wanna head home? Wait a second! What's wrong? There are a couple things about your story that don't sit right with me. Gramps, you're lying, aren't you? What are you talking about, Makoto? Sorry, I don't want to go home while all my doubts are still stuck in a maze. I, Makoto Wakaido, will solve this mystery! Whoa, dun dun dun! Ah! Time to put together all I know. What is it about my story that's bugging you? Well, it's difficult to put into words. What you told me is believable. There are a couple of weird turns. And what would those be? The first one is the pendant. When you first found that pendant, what did you call it? The cult's pendant. Is that really so? Let's think this through again. You first found the pendant, what did you call it? The golden pendant? Oh. What do you call it? The head priest pendant. Yeah, you said it was the head priest pendant. And I was right, wasn't I? You were, or rather, you turned out to be. But when you just found it in the shop, you had no way of knowing who it belonged to. Granted, but what of it? That inconsistently made me realize something. I thought that maybe you were just trying to set up my misdirection. What do you mean, misdirection? You know, like in mystery novels, you were leading me to an explanation that was plausible but wrong? What? It all makes more sense this way. My theory is that you were pretending to investigate. In reality, you were setting up clues. Why in the world would I do that? Because you already knew the truth, that's what I think. There's one more thing about the pendant that doesn't make sense. And what's that? When you showed the pendant around while questioning people, they all responded in the same way. That was the robe man's. Wait. Or that they... Never seen it. Right, someone witnessed that they seen a man wearing a robe. But none of them mentioned having seen that pendant. Are you saying that the pendant didn't belong to him? That's not quite right either. I think that he was wearing it, but his long beard covered it and nobody could see it. Now, where did you really find the pendant? At his house? What? That's the only explanation. There's only one way you could have seen the pendant normally hidden by Sada's beard. And that's when his head had been cut off. Huh? So you're saying? Yes, the truth is... Sada was murdered. Right, Sada wasn't the culprit. Ida, who had tried to pass off as the victim, was the real murderer. Gramps, Ida was alive the whole time. Kodo, you got something in ya. Something special. Sorry I lied to you. You're right. Ida's still alive. Will you tell me what really happened? You're too brave for my lies, champ. Remember this happened in the 80s. Scientific investigation wasn't as precise back then. After a second cult follower murder, the head office wanted to end things quickly without wasting time looking for suspects. Wouldn't surprise me if Light of Martyrs was pulling their strings. Those were bleak days. I ignored the brass and started investigating on my own. I set my sights on the Light of Martyrs head priest Sada and started following him. Just so happened that he'd found himself a new lamb to sacrifice. His name was Ida. The two walked together into Ida's house. I was right outside listening. All of a sudden, I heard fighting. What else could I do? I broke in. What's going on? You. Sada. You're Ida, aren't you? What happened here? I made a terrible mistake. I was finishing the paperwork to donate my house. This man attacked me out of the blue. I fought back, lost control, and ended up strangling him. And who are you? I'm a police detective. Was following Sada. I guess it's as much following as I'm gonna get done. Detective, does it mean I'm under arrest? I don't care what happens to me. If I go to prison, who will look after my wife? Please, will you at least help her? Tell me about her situation. Ida's story filled me with sympathy. I swore I'd help his wife, and I did so, betraying both police and the world at large. I set Sada up. It made it look like Ida had been killed when Sada was still alive. Cut off Sada's head with the saw we bought from the general shop. That's when I found the pendant. I pretended I found it during the investigation. Ida and I parted ways at the cliff, and after letting him go, I wrote a false report. He used his insurance money to pay for his wife's medical bills while protecting their secret. So that's how it really went. I'm really sorry I tried to fool you. I've been fooling everyone for so long now. Gramps! Did Mrs. Ida ever get well? She did. Her husband and I were able to see her final moments just a few days ago. They told me they were grateful for the years I afforded them. They lived them modestly, but in peace. I see. So that friend of yours from earlier must have been Ida. Can't hide anything from you, can I? Detective Wakaido. Yeah? The case, it's closed. Yay! We solved the first case. Definitely some hand holding through it. I guess we're gonna have credits every time, probably. Can I skip them? No. No, I can't. Well, yeah. Yeah, definitely some hand holding in terms of... It'd be cool if it wasn't constantly like, oh, we're just gonna take out what you don't need. I guess it helps keep it clean, but... Well, you know. You know, right? You know what I'm talking about. But... yeah. That was, I guess, the first part of the Wakaido Case Files. So I guess there's like 5 or 6? This Trilogy, but I think I saw 5 or 6 cases. So... yes? I might just cut this out for the future videos. Probably should have done it here. Like, let me speed up the case. Let me speed it up. But yeah, so thank you again, Player2PR, for the code for the game. I guess next time around we'll be doing case 2 or something like that. Thank you for your work on the case, Finn. You really want to go back to the title screen? No, I guess I'll leave it here. Yeah, so thank you, Player2PR, for the code for Makoto Wakaido Case Files. It is out now on Steam. I want to say it's also on Switch, I think. But yeah, so we'll be back next time with case number 2. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, excuse me, start liking, commenting, and/or subscribing. I've been doing a lot of talking, so my voice is shot right now. Yeah, if you enjoyed the video, consider liking, commenting, and/or subscribing. If you really enjoyed it, consider supporting the channel. All support greatly helps keeping content like this and more. Find links for that in the description below, along with links to me on social media. So thank you again for watching, and until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!